Okay, this is part 2 of the recycling computer, but in a different way. And what you're looking at is another computer that I found in the stack of buried computers over here by the desk. You can see there that I got a whole bunch of other computers there that I never thought to try to see what was in them. So this is my first attempt. And what's on the floor there is a little gateway. And let me get down here so you can see. See, this is the gateway right here. And you can see, give you a little close-up of this. You can see it's a little bit smaller in size. It doesn't have the extra 3.5 and 5 1/4 slots like the big ones do. This is a little bit smaller. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this machine up and I'm going to see if it has an 8 gig drive that I can test in the big gateway. So this is how I modify and recycle old computers. I take parts and interchange them and do all kinds of neat things, to try to get systems working. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this machine up, and you can see this is actually an older gateway. It's an older gateway machine because there's 5 screws that hold the system together. And I do apologize if my head's getting in the way because I can't see what the camera's picking up. But now we've got the screws out. Take the cover off. And let's take a look and see what we got. Yeah, see, this is a different power supply in this one because this is a miniature tower. And let's see, we got 3.5, we got CD-ROM drives. Now, where is, the hard drive's on top. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, the hard drive is mounted on the top with the screws right here. The screws are right here on this model. Now, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the cable and the power supply for it. And now, we're going to take the screws out. This is actually a simple machine as far as the hard drive assembly goes, because it's real nice. You don't even have to take any brackets off or anything. You just tighten or loosen the 4 screws on the top of the machine itself. Okay. Now we got the screws loose, and let's see if we can pull this hard drive out of here. And let's see here, boy. I'm trying to think how this. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I do have to take out the oh, wow. Might have to take out the CD-ROMs. Shouldn't have to, though. Let's see here. There's got to be a way to get this out of here. there is. CD-ROMs do gotta come out. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Because I'm actually looking at, I know you probably can't see anything right now, but the CD-ROM drive that's in here on the top, you saw it first. Well, that looks like a pretty good one, though. Well, let's go ahead and pop it out. And see what we got. This is how you can interchange parts. I'm just laying the screws here on the rug. I gotta be careful so I don't lose the screws. That screw came out very easily, and it was an odd screw anyway. Oh, I forgot one. Those weren't even tight. That's one thing you got to make sure of when you put any kind of device together. Make sure that your screws are tight, so that they, the item that you're mounting doesn't slip or move around. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's all I had to do. Okay. This is a typical hard drive. And yes, this is definitely an 8 gig. This is an 8 gig. All right. So, let's go ahead and focus back up to the big machine. And I'm going to leave the camera on the tripod so that way you can see the action going on here. And you can see there's the 20 gig, but we're going to take that off and put on the 8 gig. And the 8 gig, I'm trying to see. Here. Maybe I could see it through the camera. Nope, can't see it through the camera, but I'm going to show you something here. Whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to tilt you. Just trying to turn the camera here with one hand. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how I actually use this magnifier while I'm troubleshooting something. So we're going to go ahead and turn this TV on. And now, turn on the magnifier. You can see it lighten up. Turn all the lights on so we have really, really good light. Okay, now we're going to check this specs on the hard drive here. And this is going to make it a lot easier to look at. Okay, now, alright, we got to put a jumper on the middle. Jumper has to go on the middle set of pins. See, here's the drawing. I don't know if you could see it through that black mark there, but that's the drawing of the jumper setup, or the diagram of the connection, and over here is the settings. So right now it's on single, but we don't want it single, we want master, and we also want slave. Well, in this case we want master because we have a zip drive for the slave. But you can see on there, let me zoom it in so you can kind of see how that looks. Okay, you see how the image is shown on the screen there? That's how I use the magnifier. So, what we're going to do, now that we know what we need to do, actually, I'm going to go ahead and use the magnifier to mount the jumper, so you can see how exactly I work with using the magnifier. So there's this close-up of the screen. Now I'm going to try very, very hard not to get in the way of the screen. And I'm off camera right now because I'm locating the jumper that I need. And I got one right here. So now, let's see if I can do this. Okay. Now, there we go. Now you can see the pins. And what we want to do is we want to mount the jumper on two sets of little pins. There we go. That's a nice view right there. It's a little bit, it's not as dark, but you can see how the pins are. Now remember, it's not these pins over here, because that's for the cable. It would be these pins right here. So I got the jumper. And I'm just going to use my bare fingers to mount it. And what I always do is I just kind of place it over the pins very, very lightly. I don't push it down to make, until I make sure that everything is right. And then I go ahead and push the jumper down on the pins. And there we are. Now it's a master drive. So now what we're going to do is, gotta move the camera back here, and then scan over here to the computer, give you a close-up over here. Okay, let's go back a little bit. There. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to change the drive. Oops, I'm stepping on screws. I better be careful. Okay, we're going to take this drive off. And put this one on. And all it is just plug in. You don't have to, there's no soldering, there's no complicated connecting of anything, but you do have to make sure, that your settings are right on your hard drives or your CD-ROMs. Otherwise, nothing will work properly. Okay, now let's go ahead and power this up. That sounds normal. Let's see what we get on the screen here. Gateway, beautiful. Okay, it's loading 98. Okay, that drive must have had something on it already. Okay, now being that come out of another computer, it's going to have to reload all the display drivers all over again. But what I am noticing, and this is a good sign, the power supply is remaining on, the fan. So that's what's going to take place. I'm going to go ahead and put the 8 gig in that computer. I'm going to put the 6 gig in this little computer down here, and should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this machine, and of course what I'm going to do too is I'm going to just go ahead and clear that drive and reinstall Windows 98 fresh. I'd rather do a fresh install than take it from another machine, because then I'll know it's going to work properly. So with that, we're going to kind of wrap this up now, and I will give you updates on the progress of both machines as time goes on. So thanks for watching the video on how to interchange parts. I haven't really come up with a title yet, but by the time this is uploaded, there'll definitely be a title. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hope everybody has a great day. And if you do have any questions on what you saw, please feel free to comment, or you can leave a video response, and I'll certainly get back to you as quick as I can. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll be posting more videos for you to see.